All right, trade pros, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about when you should quit day trading. So society loves comeback stories. Your favorite football team, hockey team, everyone loves to bet on the person down that they'll make a rebound because it's exciting. But is it time for you to quit day trading and to take the ultimate loss and give up what you're doing after investing time and money into this hobby and likely a profession? In this video, I'm going to give you 12 tips, and I'm going to do it rather quickly to help you start thinking and asking yourself, is it time to quit? Before we begin, I want to tell you that this is an excerpt from our trading podcast called Mind Over Markets. Check out Mind Over Markets on Spotify or your local podcast platform and listen to this episode in its entirety. This is a big decision you're making, and you want to make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Check that out. It's episode number 85. When should you quit trading for good for more detail? Right now, let's get into this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notifications bell for more great content. We post a new video daily. Let's dive in. So before we begin, and I talk about this on the podcast, I think it's important to distinguish when you need to take a break and when you need to actually quit. And there are very, very specific things that need to happen, and I can't possibly go into all the details, but ask yourself on your subconscious level, and don't do it logically, but ask yourself and see the first thing that pops up. Do this question: do I just need a break, or am I ready to quit this for good? And even if you are ready to quit it for good, that starts with a break anyways. So if you just want to take a break, you're frustrated, what you're doing isn't working, but you still have some hope, this video is not for you. This video is if you lost all hope and you're considering quitting, then take these 12 things into mind when I think is a good time to quit day trading. And I'm telling you this with 20 plus years of experience in this industry and having worked professionally as a trader on a trading desk at a big bank in Canada. So let's get started. Neither one of these is one reason to quit, but the more boxes you check off, the more likely it could be a consideration for you. All right, tip number one for is it time to quit day trading. You're borrowing a lot of money, your credit cards are maxed out, and you just don't have any capital left. Does it make sense to start asking your friends for more money to do something that's been losing? More likely than not. So if you're out of capital, obviously it's probably time to at least take a break and maybe quit. Tip number two for should you quit day trading is, do you need constant income for survival? Trading is a variable income business, and if your life at the moment has a need or a necessity for consistent income where you have to pay your bills, etc., you don't have any savings, and you're living month to month, and the difference between you eating or not is literally your paycheck, then more than likely it's probably time to quit day trading. Day trading isn't a ticket to instant riches, and many people have messaged us and said, if I take your program, can I start making money by 2 months from now? That sounds like a situation of desperation, and it isn't really a mindset you want to approach trading with because it's almost always a guaranteed loss. You don't want to be desperate. So again, this is tip number two for you to consider, is it time to quit? Scratch those last 2 sentences, Alex. So if you need constant income, it's probably time to focus on getting a job or a consistent source of pay from which you could save and then restart in the future. Tip number three, and this is probably the biggest one. If you keep losing money, but you do the exact same thing and more of it. So if you have a trading plan, but don't follow it. If you wrote yourself rules and never follow them. If you know you shouldn't get long, but you just can't help yourself on a subconscious level. If you do a lot of trades and you have a massive losing day, and at the end of the day, you review your trades and say, I feel like this wasn't even me, and you have no more control over yourself, it's definitely time to at least stop trading and consider maybe even quitting for good. If you're going to keep doing the same stuff, you're going to just keep blowing through money. If you just continue to do the same stuff that isn't working, you're going to just keep blowing money until you get yourself in a really rough situation and potentially even a dark mindset and a dark reality. Question number four, whether you should consider quitting trading or not. Has your identity changed to be a loser? I say that with all due respect because when we're trading, a lot of the times we're doing it by ourselves. And that's a big mistake. You should be part of some community. It doesn't have to be ours. But when you're trading by yourself and you start losing trades, at the beginning, it's okay. But when that losing starts to transpire in other areas of your life, when you're disgruntled, when you find yourself unable to be happy, when you find yourself carrying that losing mindset in other areas of your life, It's affecting your relationships, your friends, your opportunities, your overall satisfaction with life. What the heck is the point of continuing to trade? If you've taken on the identity of a loser because of trading, it's time to give yourself a chance to see a brighter side to life and do something else. You'll never lose any of the knowledge you've gained, and in fact, being a good trader makes you a great person and an opportunity seeker. So whatever you have picked up wasn't at a loss. It's time to move on if you see yourself in your mind's eye as a loser, quote unquote. Question number 5. Has trading negatively or poorly affected your personal relationships? I think this one is so important because at the end of the day, why do we want to trade anyways? Why do we want to go out there, take risk, and be a top performer on a daily basis? We want to have the freedom and the capital to spend time with the people we love, doing the things we love. It's really that simple. If trading is taking you or robbing you away from that experience, no matter how much you've invested in your time and energy, I think it's a good position to stop and ask yourself, is this worth doing? What I'm doing at the moment, the benefit is to spend time with my friends and loved ones, and instead it's robbing me of my time with them. It's bringing me into a dark place, and I no longer find hanging out with people enjoyable at all. If that's the case, strongly recommend considering quitting trading for good, not even taking a break. Question number 6. Do you deep down know that this isn't for your personality type? And what I mean by that is, sure, you'll find a new strategy and you'll get excited. You'll find a new system, a new person to follow on Twitter that gives you just a little bit of hope to wake up tomorrow morning and do this trading thing again. But deep down, do you have this unsettling feeling that what you're doing just isn't for you? Like you're doing it, but you're saying, this doesn't really jive with who I am. I don't want to be I don't want to be putting myself into risky, uncertain situations every single day. You'll have a gut feeling. Trust that gut. And I know this sounds a little woo-woo and metaphysical, but at the end of the day, if you're doing something that's going against who you are, your identity as a person, you don't have to think it, you're going to feel it. Chest, gut. You're going to really start to feel, this is not congruent. And if you do anything in life that's not congruent with who you are, it's not going to have a good outcome. Your subconscious is specifically designed to take you away from those situations and put you back on the path of who you are as a person. That's called bringing you back to safety. So ask yourself, do you know deep down that this doesn't match your personality? And are you only doing this just because other people are doing it in your circle, just because you feel left behind in terms of the markets, or just because you're trying to get out of a bad situation? And if the answer is yes to that question, trading your way out of a bad situation is never going to work. You have to trade your way towards something exciting. The problem is when you have away motivated goals, you're going to get just far enough from something where it doesn't burn or hurt anymore, but that's often not nearly as good as you're going to have to become to succeed. So if this isn't for your personality type, then it isn't for you, and that's perfectly okay. Number 7, you're finding yourself slipping into a dark place. And I do want to give you a trigger warning here. We're going to talk about some deep things on the surface. I don't want to get too deep into this because if this is you, you're going to know it right away. If trading is causing you depression, like a gloominess, if it's really become a cloud in your life and it's holding you back from your enjoyment, no matter how much money you make, or even if you succeed tomorrow and you become the best trader in the world, it isn't going to fix that. In fact, that's usually a sign that you have some inner work to do that's causing you negative results in trading. If you're not a top performing athlete, if you have unresolved conflict and emotion, you'll never be a top performer. This is an area you have to work on first. Because what happens is your internal conflict manifests outward into everything that you do. Chances are, if trading is causing you depression, there's other things in your life that are causing you hardship as well. It isn't just trading. It's just that you might think trading is the final meal ticket and the breakthrough that you need. But the breakthrough at that point that will be most beneficial for you if trading is causing you these negative emotions isn't out there, it's in here. It's time to do some inner work. Question number 8. Should you consider quitting trading? Have you lost your passion for doing this? Life is short. I had the realization yesterday. I told my wife, I just woke up one morning and said, hey, honey, one day we're going to die. That's how I started my day. And just kind of throwing it back. But I was thinking in my head, am I enjoying life? Am I getting the full experience? Life is way too damn short to be getting stopped out every day and trying to fight back, knowing that, hey, I could be doing something else with my life. Remember this, all the time that you spend trading, there is an opportunity cost. Even if you're a profitable trader making the craziest money in the world that you could never imagine, there's still an opportunity cost. What could you be doing instead? And if you've lost your passion and what you could be doing instead is starting to sound more exciting than the everyday mundaneness of trading, because trading is a job, you're working for yourself, but you're still working. It's a job where you have to put in hours to make you money. It's not passive income, it's active. You have to be there. If you've lost the passion and saying to yourself, look, I could be doing something else, no matter how much money you're making trading, that's gonna burn inside your head. And that's a calling for you to maybe go do that something else. Put it on paper. If you lost your passion, what are you passionate about? Is there something that you're gravitating or being pulled to more? Because if that's the case, you probably need to stop trading and go to that other passion. You'll see more success quicker there. You can make money doing anything as long as you're passionate for it. Question number 9, is your opportunity cost higher than your trading profit as your career? This is an odd one. Some people have a higher opportunity cost to begin with. If you're in a job making $400,000 a year and you want to replicate that income in trading, but your family's reliant on it, or if you're, an athlete where you could be playing a sport that you love as a child and you're very close to making it pro, or you have the prospect to go pro, I would say follow that. Forget trading. Trading at this point is a distraction. Go to the area that's your highest opportunity, not in terms of money, but in terms of satisfaction and fulfillment. The best thing about this career is this. Even if you try something else now, later on in life, if you want to trade, it's always there. The markets aren't going anywhere. What you've learned now will carry forward to that day. You don't have to push yourself and force things, because nothing good comes from force. True success is effortless, smooth, empowering, and takes no energy to sustain. So if your opportunity cost is higher and you got something else that you could be doing that you think you'd be more passionate about, trading is probably not for you. It's time to quit and focus your energy on what you're good at and what you love. And now we're gonna get into a few more tangible examples that I know you came here for, I save them for last because there's no right answer here. It just depends on how hard-headed are you and how far are you willing to go before you give up. All right, because giving up is a very personal thing. It's a failure. We're taught to avoid failures and not embrace them, which ironically is what makes you a successful trader to begin with. Have you been trading for 5 years and haven't had a single profitable month or two? In fact, even if you've been trading for 3-4 years and you can't string together at least 2 good months, chances are you haven't figured out a system with an edge yet to trade, or the operator is the issue. 90% of the time, it's operator issue. It isn't your system, it's just that you're not using it. And you're finding ways to find excuses and exceptions more than you're focusing your energy on finding the right trade and the next best trade, as we call it. This is a big one. If this is you, and if this is happening, this is a big check mark in favor of actually quitting this industry, at least for now. But here it is, question number 11. Are you secretly looking for a get-rich-quick scheme? Because I'm going to tell you the truth. If you are, this is the worst place to do it. People who are in this market looking to get rich quick are the ones that end up being donors, as we call it, that end up in the accounts of trade pros like those in our community. You have to really be invested in this. If you want to get rich quick, chances are you need that money for something specific. And maybe it's time to call yourself out on it and say, listen, what am I really doing this for? Why do I need to get rich quick? The quicker you make money, the more lucky you became, and the quicker you are going to lose it. Look at those lotto winners that win $100 million and are broke. I don't know if it's 100 million quite, but I know for a fact, $30-40 million lotto winners, there's a lot of examples of that you check in with them 5 years later and they have no money. If you don't take time to carefully build yourself as a top performer, if you don't have what it takes to make the money now that you want, then you really don't have what it takes to keep the money once you have it, which is why, in essence, you don't already have it. Simple, but very important concept as well. Last but not least, question number 12. This one is where everyone wants to be. Have you made so much money out of this industry that you just had enough? You want to retire? If that's the case, you don't need this video. You know what to do and you know what milestones you have to hit. But do think about that, because one day there is going to be a number in your mind that once you attain and you use this money to set up some kind of passive income, For example, rental properties. You might fund other businesses. You might find you have a passion for doing private equity. You might be an angel investor and giving this capital out funds businesses that end up going public. And instead of making $5 million a year, you're now a billionaire. Everyone has their own number. And when you hit that number, it's important to know your exit plan. Some point, we're all going to quit trading, whether it's an exit strategy that we have, or whether, like I talked to my wife the other day when I was telling you about earlier in the video, we're going to hit the end of our own life. Think about this. Is trading enriching you? Is trading enriching your experience here on this planet? I didn't mean to get that deep. Yes, I did. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Those are the 12. I go in a lot more detail into the podcast. Check out that episode. And there you have it, just to get you thinking. Ultimately, very personal decision, and it's up to you. The biggest thing is, and I would ask you, is what you're doing. Are you being disciplined? Do you have a strategy? Are you following it? Are you reviewing the results and reviewing your trading journal on a daily basis to find areas to improve? And if the answer to all those is yes, and you've been doing that for 2-3 years and you just can't win, you have your answer already. If you haven't been doing all those things, question is, are you passionate enough or motivated enough to change yourself and do some inner work to become the top performer that you need to be successful in trading? If you're not ready to do that, trading is not for you, at least not right now. So I'll let you make this personal decision. I'm open to dialogue. Please pop in the comment section if you would like to participate. Let me know your situation if you want some advice, or let me know which one of these tips spoke the most to you, or which one of the questions in this video. Appreciate you for watching. Hit that like button. Please also subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell. Got great content coming out every single day, and it's awesome. Little bias because I create some of it, but not all. See you at the next video, Trade Pros. Manage that risk. Trade like a trade pro. Take care and goodbye.